She walked in like any other shopper, but what happened next left the boutique staff, and their meticulous manager, utterly stunned. When her true identity came to light, the fallout wasn't just shocking, it was unforgettable. The boutique on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills wasn't just a store, it was a symbol of exclusivity. Behind gleaming glass doors framed by pristine white marble lay a haven of luxury: designer handbags, sparkling jewelry under perfect lighting, and racks of clothing priced higher than most people's monthly rent. This wasn't a place for casual browsers or window shoppers. At least, that's what Helena, the boutique's sharp-eyed manager, believed. Known for her strict adherence to luxury etiquette, Helena had built her reputation on a single principle: protect the brand. Her rules were simple but unyielding: no idle chatter among employees, no smudged glass, and certainly no tolerance for people who didn't belong. Helena, tall and poised with an immaculate bob haircut and a tailored pantsuit, was the ultimate gatekeeper. Exclusivity isn't just about price, she often reminded her team, it's about image. That Tuesday started like any other. The store hummed softly with classical music, and Helena was stationed near the entrance, scanning for anything or anyone out of place. Then the doors opened, and a woman stepped inside. She was tall, poised, and dressed in a simple cream coat, with oversized sunglasses shielding her eyes. Her heels clicked softly against the marble as she wandered through the store, her fingers lightly brushing against a rack of silk scarves. To Helena, this woman didn't seem like the usual clientele. Something was off. Was it her understated outfit? Or the way she lingered just a bit too long by the jewelry case? Helena's instincts flared. She approached briskly, her smile polite but devoid of warmth. "Ma'am, we have a private shopping appointment scheduled shortly. I'm afraid I'll need to ask you to leave." The woman lowered her sunglasses, revealing piercing blue eyes that caught Helena off guard. For a fleeting moment, there was a flicker of recognition. Had she seen this woman before? But the thought vanished as quickly as it came. "I assure you, I'll only be a moment," the woman said, her tone calm and unwavering. Helena stiffened, her polite demeanor replaced by firm resolve. "I'm sorry, but this is a private establishment. If you'd like to book an appointment, we'd be happy to accommodate you another time." The woman's expression remained unreadable. Without another word, she slid her sunglasses back on and walked out, her heels echoing in the silence. Helena felt a sense of satisfaction. She had done her job. She had protected the brand. But as the minutes passed, unease crept in. There was something about the woman's quiet confidence, the way she carried herself as though she knew something Helena didn't. What Helena couldn't know was that this seemingly ordinary encounter was about to spiral into a storm of revelations. The truth about the mysterious woman's identity would soon shake the boutique to its core, and it would be a day Helena would never forget. Even the occasional tabloid reporter fishing for gossip couldn't have anticipated the storm that was about to break. For Helena, the boutique's perfectionist manager, it was just another day. Her sharp eye ensured every couture dress was flawless, every diamond gleamed under perfect lighting, and every detail on the stage was impeccable. But as she locked up that evening and headed home, the memory of the mysterious woman lingered. There was something about her, poised, unshaken, as if she belonged in a world where respect was a given. Helena had dismissed her with the authority she thought she wielded, but now a small question gnawed at her. Who was she really? The next morning, Helena's day began as usual, her steps echoing through the quiet store as she ensured every display was immaculate. By mid-morning, however, a ripple of whispers began to sweep through the staff. Sophia, a young sales associate, approached Helena cautiously. "Did you hear about the woman from yesterday?" she asked, her voice low but brimming with excitement. Helena frowned. "What about her?" Sophia glanced around nervously. "A customer this morning said it was Melania Trump." Helena froze. The name hit like a thunderclap. "Melania Trump?" she repeated, her tone skeptical. "Yes," Sophia insisted, nodding. "They showed me a picture on their phone. It was definitely her." For a moment, Helena's mind raced. Could it be true? Had she, in her rigid enforcement of the rules, just dismissed one of the most recognizable figures in the world? A wave of unease swept over her, but she quickly masked it with her usual composure. "It doesn't matter who she was," she said briskly. "Rules are rules. We can't let just anyone wander in without an appointment." But deep down, Helena knew this wasn't just anyone. By afternoon, the boutique buzzed with whispers, both from employees and customers. "She's so elegant," a customer murmured while examining handbags. "I can't believe someone would treat her like that," another added. "I heard she walked out without saying a word," someone chimed in. "So classy, but you know she was furious." Helena overheard the chatter, her stomach tightening with every word. The high-fashion world wasn't just about luxury, it thrived on reputation. A single misstep could tarnish a brand for years. That evening, as Helena scrolled through her phone, a chill swept over her. Social media had exploded. A customer had posted a vague but damning account. A certain boutique manager just kicked out one of the most famous women in America. Classless behavior in a so-called luxury establishment. Though the post didn't name the boutique outright, the comments were alive with speculation. People tagged brands, theorized locations, and shared screenshots of Melania's past visits to high-end stores. Helena's pulse quickened. This wasn't just a PR problem, it was a crisis. The boutique's carefully curated image was under fire, and the mysterious woman she had dismissed was now a headline. As the online buzz grew louder, one question loomed over Helena. Could this one encounter bring her carefully maintained world crashing down? The story that Helena had tried so hard to suppress was now everywhere. Social media buzz turned into local news coverage, and whispers about the boutique's identity spread like wildfire. Customers came not just to shop, but to gossip, pointing and speculating. One woman, latte in hand, whispered loudly to her friend, "This is the place, isn't it?" Helena overheard, her grip on control slipping. Still, she convinced herself Melania Trump wouldn't return. Someone as prominent as her wouldn't revisit a place where she'd been dismissed. But Helena was wrong. The return. It was Friday afternoon, and the boutique was at its peak. The showroom was bustling with wealthy clientele, browsing racks of couture as sales associates rushed to assist. Helena stood by the cashier counter, maintaining her usual air of authority. Then, the glass door swung open with deliberate force. In stepped the woman Helena had dismissed just days earlier, Melania Trump. But this time, she wasn't alone. Behind her was an entourage, security guards in tailored suits, a woman with a sleek leather briefcase, and a poised publicist. Just outside the entrance, photographers swarmed, their flashes lighting up the boutique like a red carpet event. The quiet murmur of the store was replaced by gasps and hurried whispers. Melania, dressed in a fitted black dress that radiated elegance, commanded the room. Diamonds sparkled at her ears, catching the sunlight as she moved with effortless grace. Helena's heart sank. She felt the heat rise to her cheeks as she locked eyes with Melania. There was no anger in Melania's gaze, no visible resentment, just a calm, commanding presence that unnerved Helena more than any confrontation could have. "Good afternoon," Melania said, her voice steady but firm. "I'd like to look around now. Is that allowed?"
The question hung in the air, laden with quiet authority. Every employee froze. Customers whispered behind perfectly manicured hands, their curiosity palpable. All eyes turned to Helena. Her instincts screamed for her to say something, to salvage the situation, but no words came. Instead, she nodded stiffly and stepped aside, allowing Melania to enter the very store she'd been turned away from days before. The evaluation Melania moved through the boutique with purpose. Her entourage followed closely, their sharp eyes noting every detail. She didn't rush. Her fingers brushed over fabrics, and her gaze lingered on price tags and displays. To Helena, it felt less like shopping and more like an evaluation. Melania wasn't just browsing, she was taking stock of the boutique, of its products, its ambiance, and perhaps even its people. Employees scrambled to offer assistance, their polished smiles, masking their unease. Customers watched, some sneaking photos, others whispering furiously about the unfolding scene. Helena stood frozen, a knot tightening in her stomach. She had built her career on maintaining control, but now she felt as though she were on trial. The unforgettable exit. After what felt like an eternity, Melania finally turned toward the exit. She didn't make a single purchase. Instead, she paused at the door, her gaze sweeping over the room one last time. "Thank you," she said simply, her voice calm but weighted with meaning. Then, without another word, she walked out, her entourage and the flash of cameras following her. As the door closed behind her, the boutique was left in stunned silence. Helena's composure crumbled as whispers and chatter erupted around her. Customers speculated, employees exchanged nervous glances, and Helena realized one thing: the story wasn't over.
The tension in the boutique was thick, each passing second amplifying the weight of Helena's earlier mistake. As Melania Trump moved through the store, her calm yet commanding demeanor cast an unshakable spotlight on Helena, exposing every crack in her facade of authority. The moment that would change everything was about to unfold. A public evaluation. Melania stopped in front of the jewelry case, her gaze settling on an elaborate diamond necklace. She gestured toward Clara, a junior sales associate, who approached hesitantly. "May I see this piece?" Melania asked, her tone polite but carrying unmistakable authority. Clara, her hands trembling slightly, retrieved the necklace and placed it delicately on the counter. "Of course, ma'am," she managed to say. Melania studied the necklace, turning it slowly in the light. Then, in a move that no one expected, she turned to Helena. "What do you think?" she asked, her piercing gaze locking onto Helena. The room seemed to freeze. Customers craned their necks, and employees stood at attention, holding their breath. Helena stammered, struggling to regain composure. "It's a beautiful piece, one of our finest," she said, her voice shaky and unconvincing. Melania gave a small nod, as if filing the response away for later. Then, with a serene smile, she turned back to Clara. "I'll take it," she said, sliding an elegant black credit card across the counter. A quiet reprimand. As Clara completed the transaction, Melania turned her attention back to Helena. Her expression remained calm, but her words sliced through the boutique like a blade. "It's important, don't you think, to treat everyone with respect, especially when you don't know who they are?" A hush fell over the room. Employees exchanged nervous glances, and customers whispered behind perfectly manicured hands. Helena felt her cheeks burn as the weight of Melania's words settled over her. Without waiting for a response, Melania gestured toward her publicist, who handed her a sleek envelope. She extended it to Helena. "This is for your staff," Melania said, "a token of appreciation for their professionalism." Helena hesitated before taking it, the envelope feeling heavier than she expected. Inside, she would later find a check for a generous sum meant to be shared among the employees, a gesture of kindness that contrasted sharply with the quiet reprimand she had just received. Grace in action. Melania wasn't done. She turned to Clara, who still stood behind the counter, her nervousness evident. "Thank you for your help today," Melania said warmly. "You've been wonderful." Clara's face lit up, her confidence bolstered by the unexpected praise. With that, Melania walked toward the door, her entourage seamlessly falling into step behind her. The photographers outside sprang into action, their cameras capturing every detail of her departure. The aftermath. Inside the boutique, silence reigned. Customers murmured amongst themselves, replaying the scene they had just witnessed. Employees exchanged stunned glances, the gravity of the moment sinking in. Helena stood rooted to the spot, her mind racing. Melania had walked out with more than a necklace. She had left behind an indelible lesson in humility and grace. The envelope in Helena's hand was both a gift and a reminder. Respect, she realized too late, wasn't just about maintaining an image. It was about how you treated people, no matter who they appeared to be. The weight of the previous day's events hung in the air as Helena faced her staff, her heart heavy but resolute. The boutique, known for its perfection, had been the stage of a humbling lesson, and it was time to make things right. A new beginning. Helena looked around the room, meeting the eyes of each employee. They were quiet, waiting, their expressions a mix of curiosity and hesitation. "I owe all of you an apology," Helena began, her voice firm yet tinged with vulnerability. "Yesterday, I let my assumptions dictate my actions. I treated someone unfairly, and in doing so, I let all of you down." She paused, taking a deep breath. "That is not the kind of leader I strive to be, and it is certainly not the example I want to set." The room remained silent, the staff processing her words. Clara, standing near the back, gave a faint nod of encouragement, a gesture of accountability. Helena held up the envelope Melania had given her. "This," she said, her voice steady, "is a check Melania Trump left for all of you, a token of appreciation for your professionalism. It's a generous amount, and each of you will receive a fair share." Murmurs rippled through the group, a mixture of surprise and gratitude. "But," Helena continued, "this isn't just about money. It's about the trust we have with each other and with the people who walk through those doors. Moving forward, I want us to focus on creating an experience rooted in respect for everyone. A plan for change." Helena outlined her vision for the boutique: inclusivity training, a program to ensure every employee, including herself, would learn to approach customers without bias. Customer experience overhaul, shifting focus from exclusivity to creating welcoming luxury experiences for all. Open communication, encouraging employees to share ideas and concerns without fear of judgment. "I can't undo what happened yesterday," Helena admitted, "but I can promise you this: I will work every day to be better for all of us." As the meeting ended, the staff began to disperse, their faces lighter, their trust in Helena slowly rekindling. Clara lingered, approaching Helena with a small smile. "That was a good start," she said. Helena nodded. "Thank you, Clara, and thank you for stepping up yesterday when I couldn't." The road ahead. The boutique reopened that morning with a renewed sense of purpose. Customers arrived, the usual hum of luxury filling the air. But there was something different, a warmth, an authenticity that hadn't been there before. Helena watched from the sidelines as Clara greeted a customer with genuine enthusiasm, offering assistance without hesitation. She felt a flicker of pride, knowing the changes were already taking root. As the day went on, Helena reflected on the lesson Melania Trump had taught her, not through anger or retaliation, but through grace and quiet strength. It was a lesson she would carry with her, shaping not only her career but the culture of the boutique itself. Sometimes, the most profound changes come not from grand gestures, but from the quiet moments that force us to confront who we are and who we want to be. Helena stood before her team, the envelope resting on the table between them, its weight symbolic of more than just money. It represented a lesson, one she had learned the hard way. Her voice, steady but earnest, carried through the room. "We have an opportunity to learn from this," Helena said, her gaze meeting each of her employees. "Respect and kindness shouldn't depend on who someone is or who we think they are. That's a lesson I needed to relearn, and I hope we can all carry it forward." She gestured to the envelope. "This check, given by Melania Trump, is for all of you. It's a testament to how well you handled the situation, even when I fell short. You deserve this." A moment of reflection. A quiet ripple of emotion moved through the room. Clara, who had stood out in the incident, spoke softly. "Thank you, Helena. I think we all learned something yesterday." Helena gave a small, grateful nod. She wasn't perfect, far from it, but she was taking steps to make amends. The boutique, she realized, wasn't just a store filled with luxury items. It was a reflection of the people who worked there, their values, and the experiences they created for others. A renewed perspective. As the employees returned to their duties, the boutique began to hum with activity. Helena observed the customers with fresh eyes, not as mere visitors, but as individuals with stories, worth, and dignity. Every interaction became an opportunity to live out the lessons she had learned. In the following days, news of Melania's visit faded from the headlines, replaced by other stories. But for Helena and her team, the impact lingered. That single encounter had become a turning point, a reminder of the importance of humility and the power of second chances. The bigger picture. The boutique's culture began to shift. Inclusivity and grace replaced assumptions and rigidity. Employees found themselves taking more time to listen, to engage, and to treat each customer as someone deserving of respect. In a world often quick to judge, Helena and her team chose to embrace kindness instead. A call to action life often presents moments that test our character. This story reminds us to approach everyone with respect and compassion, no matter who they are. Assumptions can lead to mistakes, but owning up to them and learning from them is what truly defines us. If this story resonated with you, reflect on how you can bring kindness into your own life. And remember, every small act of respect can make a world of difference. For more stories that inspire growth, humility, and reflection, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.